There's a conversation happening right now, in every car forum, every mechanic's garage, and every family dinner where someone mentions buying a Toyota Hybrid. And that conversation always splits into two camps. One side swears these cars are indestructible, the last car you'll ever need to worry about. The other side warns you to stay away. Expensive battery replacements, complex systems, ticking time bombs waiting to drain your savings. Both sides speak with absolute confidence. Both sides are missing the point. The truth about Toyota hybrids isn't found at either extreme. It's conditional. It depends on what you know about how the system works, how you drive, and what you actually expect from the car. So this isn't a sales pitch, and it's not a takedown. It's a clarification. Because most of the fear and most of the hype around these vehicles come from the same source, misunderstanding what you're actually dealing with. Let's start there. A Toyota Hybrid is not an electric car. It is not a normal gasoline car either. It is a system. A carefully engineered integration of a combustion engine, one or more electric motors, a high-voltage battery pack, and a power control unit that coordinates all of them in real time. That last part matters. The system decides moment to moment whether to use the engine, the electric motor, or both. It captures energy during braking and stores it. It shuts the engine off at low speeds and restarts it seamlessly. This is what Toyota calls the hybrid synergy drive. And understanding it changes how you evaluate everything else about the car. People who judge a Toyota hybrid the way they judge a regular sedan are measuring the wrong thing. The rules are different here. Now, reliability. This is where the conversation usually starts and almost always goes wrong. When people ask whether Toyota hybrids are reliable, they're often asking a single question that actually contains two separate ones. The first, how reliable is the hybrid system itself? The motors, the battery, the power electronics? The second, how reliable is the overall vehicle? These are not the same question. The hybrid drivetrain in Toyota's lineup has a documented track record of durability that is difficult to argue with. Fleet data, taxi services, high-mileage private owners, they've all told the same story consistently. But the rest of the car, the suspension, the cooling system, the sensors, the body components, those age at the same rate as any other vehicle. So when someone says their Toyota hybrid gave them trouble, it's worth asking, was it the hybrid system? Or was it something else entirely? Because the hybrid system is often the strongest part of the car, not the weakest. The battery is where fear concentrates most. Mention a hybrid to someone with doubts, and within 30 seconds, they'll bring up the battery. It's going to die. It's going to cost a fortune. It's going to leave you stranded. Here is what the data actually shows. Under normal operating conditions, Toyota's battery packs regularly reach 200,000 to 300,000 kilometers before showing meaningful degradation. And even then, the word die is misleading. Hybrid batteries don't typically fail the way a light switch fails. On one moment, off the next. They degrade gradually. Efficiency drops. The car relies a little more on the combustion engine. Fuel economy decreases, incrementally. You may notice the car behaves slightly differently before any warning light ever appears. This is not the catastrophic failure scenario that lives in people's imaginations. It is a slow, manageable process, and in many cases, a process that never becomes a serious problem within the ownership period of most buyers. But let's address the cost question directly, because it's legitimate. If a battery does need replacement, the numbers are real. Depending on the model and the market, a new battery from a dealership can cost anywhere from 1,500 to 5,000 euros. Sometimes higher for newer lithium systems. That's not trivial, but context matters here. Refurbished battery options exist, often at significantly lower cost, and they carry warranties that make them viable alternatives. More importantly, consider what the hybrid system saves over time. Reduced fuel consumption across years of ownership. Less brake wear, because regenerative braking does much of the work. Lower tax and insurance classifications in many markets. When you run the full numbers across 150,000 kilometers of ownership, the battery replacement cost looks very different than it does in isolation. It becomes a known, predictable variable in a system that tends to cost less to operate overall. The fear is not irrational, but fear driven by the worst-case number, without the surrounding context, is not accurate either. Here's something that surprises many first-time hybrid owners. The engine doesn't behave the way they expect. Toyota hybrids use what's called an Atkinson cycle engine, a design optimized for thermal efficiency rather than power output. What this means in practice is that the engine often sounds strained during moderate acceleration, especially at highway speeds. It revs higher than you might expect. It sometimes feels disconnected from the car's actual speed. New hybrid owners often interpret this as something being wrong. Nothing is wrong. This is exactly how the system is designed to operate. The electric motor covers the low-speed torque the Atkinson engine doesn't produce. Together, they work efficiently. Separately, evaluated against gasoline engine expectations, they seem off. Adjusting that expectation is part of understanding what you've bought. Driving habits, it turns out, have an enormous influence on how well a hybrid serves you. City driving is where these systems were fundamentally designed to operate. Stop-and-go traffic, frequent deceleration, lower average speeds. These are conditions the hybrid system turns into advantage. Every time you slow down, you're recovering energy. Every red light is a moment where the engine shuts off, and the battery does the work. Highway driving is a different story. At sustained high speeds, there's less opportunity for regenerative braking. The electric motor contributes less meaningfully. The combustion engine carries more of the load. The fuel economy advantage shrinks. It doesn't disappear entirely, but if you spend 90% of your driving time on fast motorways, a hybrid may not deliver the savings you're expecting. Short urban commutes, on the other hand, even ones that seem too short to matter, add up quickly to real efficiency gains. The car is working the way it was designed to work, and the results follow. Maintenance is another area where hybrids are both better and more nuanced than people assume. The good news is real. Brake pads last significantly longer because regenerative braking handles so much of the deceleration. Engine oil intervals can be extended on some models. The combustion engine experiences less thermal stress because it's not running continuously. But hybrids are not maintenance-free, and treating them as such is a mistake. The battery pack has its own cooling system, often a fan-based arrangement that draws cabin air. And if that system is neglected, heat buildup accelerates battery degradation. The inverter cooling circuit needs periodic fluid checks. Cabin air filters that feed battery cooling systems need replacement. These are not expensive services, but they are easy to overlook if you're not specifically looking for them. A hybrid serviced properly costs less over time. A hybrid that's had its specific maintenance items ignored can develop entirely avoidable problems. There are weak points in these systems that don't get discussed as often as they should. The battery cooling system is the most common source of premature battery issues. Not the chemistry of the battery itself, but inadequate airflow and heat management over years of neglect. The inverter and power control electronics are rare failure points, but when they fail, they are expensive. High voltage components don't follow the same cost curve as mechanical parts. Used hybrid vehicles purchased from taxi fleets or high-mileage commercial applications require careful inspection. And aging sensors can generate fault codes and odd behaviors in higher mileage examples that take real diagnostic expertise to resolve. None of these are reasons to avoid a Toyota hybrid. They are reasons to buy one with your eyes open, service history in hand, and realistic expectations about what aging electronics eventually require. High mileage operation is, paradoxically, where these cars often look their best. The data from taxi services across Europe and Asia tells a consistent story. Toyota hybrids running 300, 400, sometimes 500,000 kilometers are not extraordinary anomalies. They exist in meaningful numbers: fewer gear changes, reduced brake wear, a combustion engine that shares its workload. Over high usage, these advantages compound into a durability profile that very few other drivetrains match at equivalent operating cost. For individual owners with long daily commutes or high annual mileage, this translates into long ownership cycles, predictable costs, and residual values that hold better than many alternatives. The hybrid system is designed for use. It rewards consistent, high-mileage operation, more than it rewards occasional short trips and long periods sitting in a garage. So who should actually buy one? The honest answer is that a hybrid rewards a specific type of driver. Urban and suburban commuters with regular, predictable driving patterns get the most from the system. Buyers who prioritize long-term reliability and lower running costs over outright performance get a car that aligns with their values. People who understand they're buying engineered efficiency, not sportiness, not the lowest purchase price, not simplicity. Get exactly what they pay for. Highway-heavy drivers, buyers in rural areas with limited access to hybrid-specific service, people who want a car that feels like a traditional gasoline vehicle. They may find the compromises frustrating rather than worthwhile. A hybrid is a tool. The right tool, used for the right job, performs exceptionally. Used for the wrong job, it simply underdelivers. Not because it failed, but because it was misapplied. Here's the pragmatic verdict. Toyota hybrids are not magic. They are not, despite what some people seem to believe, a perfect solution to every driver's needs. But they are also not the financial risk or mechanical mystery that critics with limited information suggest. They are predictable systems, well documented, widely serviced, with known strengths and known limitations. The battery concern is real, but statistically overstated for most buyers under normal conditions. The running cost advantage is genuine, but depends on how and where you drive. The maintenance requirement is lower than a conventional car, but not non-existent. Most of the controversy around these vehicles doesn't come from actual product failure. It comes from misaligned expectations. Buyers who understand the system, follow the specific maintenance requirements, and drive in conditions that suit the technology. Those are the buyers who own these cars for 300,000 kilometers, and then buy another one. That's not marketing. That's the pattern the data shows. And if you walk in knowing what you're getting, it becomes one of the most rational choices you can make in the modern automotive market.